Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft. It is episode 85. And I would just like to say, I need to take accountability, man. These past few episodes haven't been that good. I tried moving the series yet again for one episode to the 360 version. I don't know, for some reason, because I thought maybe that would work. Maybe it would improve the series. Maybe it's gotten stale. But, you know, I just need to take accountability, man. I need to take accountability because it's my series. You know, if people aren't enjoying it, if the comments are saying that it sucks and is boring, and it's boring, and that I talk about book drama too much, and they're like, why do you talk about two things for the majority of the time? Like, why do you only talk about weird things tweets you read from the book publishing Twitter space, and why do you talk about why do you throw so many backhanded jabs at Embiid in his MVP case, even though he got injured, you know, and you know, he absolutely isn't ducking Jokic in Denver. It's like, look, I'm sorry, okay, I take accountability for that, you know. Unlike some other coaches in the NBA who've gotten called out for that. It's on me, you know, it's on me. I'm responsible because really I'm the only one really recording this. I edit this, you know, I come up with the idea. I came up with the idea way back 4 years ago, almost. Oh man, it's been 4 years. Like 4 years ago almost, to just do this way back. Oh man, it just, yeah, and yeah, I want to continue this series, and I want to keep on getting my contract extended, and keep on keeping my job, I guess. So, you know, even though I probably won't have that much trouble finding I won't have that much trouble continuing this series, because I'm the one who's deciding whether to continue it or not. I don't know, unless something else happens, but yeah, that's the thing, I'm taking accountability, man. Like when I well, let me just like when I almost die, you know. Anyways, don't mind those other worlds. Yeah. Anyone who's into the NBA recently, has anyone does anyone have thoughts on Doc Rivers versus JJ Redick? I mean, that was a week ago at this point, but oh man, it was a thing. JJ coming back on First Take since it's NBA season and there's no NFL games. Thank Jesus Christ. And then on his first day back, he's like, Doc, there's no accountability with this guy. He blew all these 3-1 leads. And basically JJ Redick is saying what just the majority of NBA fans, especially on Reddit and on Twitter, are saying about Doc Rivers, is that, you know, he consistently throws his players under the bus. He does not take accountability for, you know, him you know, not being as good of a coach in the playoffs, you know, and you know, other people came to his defense, like Patrick Beverley and Austin Rivers, Doc Rivers' son, which kind of makes sense, but I also heard that Austin Rivers and Doc, his father, don't have that good of a relationship, so it's kind of weird, you know? I don't know. Anyways, that stuff happened, man. Do I have any thoughts on it? I just needed a quick transition. I really should be talking about Caitlin Clark breaking the all-time NCAA scoring record in women's college basketball, and she could do it. She could break Pete Maravich's record, which is just for NCAA men and women's. But you know, it's a great accomplishment. Congratulations to her. Hopefully she decides to not stay another year, because she can stay another year, and people are saying that the wrong thing, that you know, she's gonna make tons, she's not gonna make any money in the WNBA, which isn't true, because her money is coming from endorsements, and she's not gonna lose those endorsements when she enters the WNBA. So please, stop saying that. Stop saying that she's not gonna make any money when she enters the WNBA, or any variation of that. It's like, the WNBA salary isn't high, obviously, and it should be higher, you know, the revenue should be higher, as I said in the very, very end of last episode. Michael Porter Jr.'s comments, should I have extended thoughts about that? I mean, it's just, yeah, first of all, I shouldn't be calling women females, not shouldn't be doing that, comparing women's basketball players to ping pong for some reason. I don't know, just most of what he freaking said was, like, in that Pivot podcast, whatever it is, interview is wrong, so, anyways. Yeah, so, like, people shouldn't be saying that she wouldn't be making as much money, in the WNBA, because, like, her endorsements, I would assume she would get even more, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I remember watching on a Gil's Arena episode, because I watch that regularly now. I don't know, and then Gilbert Arenas himself said like, it's bad that Caitlin Clark is getting would presumably be drafted to the Indiana Fever, right? Because it's a small market, and, like, I don't know, man. It's like, she's doing just fine getting endorsements playing for Iowa, Like, that's the thing. Oh, man. There's also been another take about her from a Duke basketball player not named JJ Redick, where, the question is being asked, like, is she an all-time great basketball player, like college basketball player? And then this guy was like, well, me, playing for Duke, a historically great blue blood franchise, and blue blood just means they're, historically great, have a lot of history with success, although not so recently, so, like, yeah, it's like, for me, she needs to win a championship because all the greats have won a championship. To me, she's not an all-time great because she hasn't won a championship, and it's like, yeah, she just decided to go to play for Iowa, her home state, instead of freaking going to, And, like, yeah, I guess, like, the blue bloods of, like, women's basketball would be, UConn, Tennessee back then, right? Not now, I don't think. Like, I think Tennessee is a good team this year, but yeah. Like, yeah, historically, in women's college basketball, from what I know, it's UConn, Stanford, and then, yeah, like those teams. USC way back in the 80s with Cheryl Miller and Caitlin Cooper, but yeah. She decided to play for Iowa, and then, yeah, and it's like, it's weird to say that she isn't an all-time great, even without a championship. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird kind of thing to say that. I don't know. You don't have to immediately say she's the greatest frickin' women's college basketball player ever, but I mean, look, man, her frickin' breaking the scoring record has to count for something, man. It's like, I don't know. Please. It has to count for something. There's also, yeah, in talking about the record for most scoring like the scoring record for NCAA, it's also, you would be remiss to not mention Pearl Moore, right? Who is a player who has, like, more points than the number one in NCAA, but for women's basketball, but it happens that she played for a Division II school, so yeah, like all that, yeah, the scoring records for Division I. So if I get any of this information wrong, I will try my best to freaking remember and edit it in. But I think that's basically the discussion around it. And yeah, I cannot wait to see the tournament. I will tune in on the women's side. On the men's side, I do not give a single frickin' I do not care. Please. I literally do not frickin' care, man. Even if it's SDSU, I'm like, please. Like, come on, man. On the women's side, I think I'll be tuning in almost, like, pretty frequently, maybe, like, as it ramps up, right? And I think the state of women's college basketball right now is that South Carolina is number one. They're the best team in the country by a wide margin. Kind of like how they were in 2020, yeah, from what I've heard. Like in 2020, they were like the definitive, like, consensus number one, but then the pandemic happened, and they kind of were on track to winning in 2020. And in 2020, also SDSU apparently was also, like, really freaking good and, like, at the top of, like, the country in basketball, but I don't know. So yeah, it's basically, in women's college basketball, it's basically South Carolina and everyone else. So Oh man, Angel Reese and LSU are still playing, although they've lost like a couple games recently. Yeah, they lost to, yeah. I talked about freaking LSU and South Carolina. I think they lost like a game after that to some, yeah, Auburn, right? That might have been before. No, that was before. But yeah, I think like they have like 4 or 5 losses. Yeah. I don't know, man. Is Angel, yeah, Angel Reese is she gonna declare for the draft? I don't know. Like, she can, right? Like, I think, like, yeah, like her, like, Angel Reese and freaking Caitlin Clark and like Paige Beckers, like they all can like play for a 5th year. And from what we know, I saw that freaking Paige Beckers from UConn is deciding to stay for a 5th year, which makes sense because she her junior year, basically she was out the whole season due to tearing her ACL. So it makes sense, you know. When I saw it at first, I was like, okay, I guess. I don't know. I just have this vision of like all these like players whose names I know, like all transitioning to the WNBA. Paige, Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, like all those people, all those players, and like, you know, leading a new generation. But I guess like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like for those players specifically, they're all gonna like enter the league eventually. So it's nothing to worry about, you know. It doesn't necessarily matter that much if they decide to stay a 5th year. And I would assume there's some sort of, other than frickin' Paige's reason, I would assume there's some sort of financial frickin' reasoning too, obviously. But it's not that they're gonna go from making like, what, 6 figures in NIL to like $0. Like that's what people are making it seem like when talking about Caitlin Clark and like the pay in the WNBA. It's like, I mean, you're right about the salary of the WNBA not being freaking a lot, but it's also like you have to think about the other things in addition to that too, right? Like I don't know about endorsements and stuff like that. I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm sure that frickin' these players can keep endorsements from college to frickin' turning pro, right? I'm sure they can. Oh man, and like it would be good. Like that's the thing. Like if people are this excited about college basketball, right? Like if it like shouldn't it translate to being excited about watching the WNBA if freaking all those same players make it there? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's been that way for a while, that freaking the WNBA has a lot, significantly less hype than women, yeah, the college game. But I don't know. I would hopefully I would hope that changes, right, in the next few years especially. But yeah. You know, and then there's also just the freaking people who are like lower the rim. I really do not think those people are worth engaging over. It's like okay, like we know where you stand. Okay, we don't need to hear more. It's fine. And God, did I eat all that food already? Oh no, I reloaded a previous save. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh man, if I have to talk about frickin' the NBA, oh man, who's my MVP? Oh no, oh man, yeah, please, oh god. Yeah, you know who isn't freaking getting that much MVP love from the league? Yeah. The MVP, it's weird because obviously every year MVP has like, there's like arguments for players that should be MVP or not, who they think should be MVP, who fans think should be MVP. And it's like, on one end, there's the extraordinarily great player who carries a team that otherwise, without that player, might be mediocre to bad, right? Jokic in 2022 and 2021, Luka now, right? Like that kind of player, right? And then on the other hand, there's just a simple argument of the best player on the best team, Jason Tatum this year, which is driving a lot of freaking controversy apparently. And in like 2022, in opposition to Jokic, it was Chris Paul or Devin Booker, right? It's like, Please. Come on, man. We don't need to argue about this, okay? It was nasty enough when it was frickin' Joel Embiid versus Nikola Jokic, okay? Please. It's fine. I don't think the MVP race is that frickin' toxic this year. It's not, but you know, it's just like people going too hard on like I don't know, immediately dismissing Jason Tatum as an MVP candidate. I don't know. I think a lot of the anti-Jason Tatum MVP frickin' talk is just, you know, criticism of Jason Tatum just not delivering in the finals, like in disguise, or like the perception of him not being that good in the playoffs when, you know, he had that game 6 in Philly, like right at the very end when he was like being really bad, like 1 for 14, and then he freaking turned it on and saved the game, staved off elimination, and then in game 7 he put up 51 points, right, and eliminated the Sixers again in the second round. It's like, yeah, like I feel like, you know, a lot of the anti-Jason Tatum MVP freaking conversation is like that in disguise, you know, just like criticizing him, you know. And I think it was a Draymond Green. I mean, I don't know if you should take his comments freaking that seriously, but I think he said something along the lines of it's a mark against him. They're using the voters or like the general perception, media or like fans like perception of him losing in the finals is like weighing too much in terms of him having a legitimate MVP case. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this year it's basically, I feel like the strongest candidates are Jokic again. Jokic, Luka, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So, you know, I think it's probably going to be between them three. I promise I will not be upset if frickin' Jokic doesn't win it. I don't know. I don't know. If you were to give me a ballot today, like, yeah, my top 3 would be Jokic, Luka, and Shai in some order. Like, you know, I don't know. I think like a bit earlier when like Joel Embiid was still in it, right? Like I was thinking like, why isn't Luka freaking more in it? Yeah, why isn't Luka more in the race, right? Like because like he's scoring just as much as Joel Embiid, right? I mean, you know, like yeah, Luka had a 73-point game, you know, after Embiid had a 70-point game, but I don't know. I don't know. I think the top 3 should be Jokic, Luka, and Shai in some order. So that's basically, yeah, the MVP. Do I need to talk more about that? Any other freaking narrative kind of thing? Like, I don't know. Like Jokic is always the advanced stats freaking darling, I guess. And then last year, people were just so anti that. People were just like, you freaking think VORP is freaking the most accurate way to judge a good basketball player? Look at the damn tape, man. He's not a good defender. You can't win a championship with him freaking being that bad of a defender. And that's when you had the freaking compilations of like Jokic being abused on defense. It's like, okay, all right, okay. All right. I feel like this is the 3rd time I've said this. Look, man, I don't ride that hard for Jokic, but it's just that specific freaking stuff just annoyed the hell out of me, man. I don't know why. I don't know why, man. I guess maybe it's just because freaking the Nuggets have become my favorite team to root for, but like, oh my god, that just pissed me the hell off. Just the way freaking people were just so quick to discount Denver as a freaking championship contender after, like, you know, like a rough stretch last year. It's like, oh my god, dude. it was annoying. It literally was annoying. And I guess it coincided with Embiid being great and like proving why he's the MVP, you know, and like he, you know, deserved to win it that year, last season. But like I think like maybe if you look back at like, yeah, what's the episode called? Walking with a VORP? Like I might have been a bit too, you know, I think that might have bled into me being a little too, I don't know, smarmy, jokey, like negatively freaking like jokey about Embiid. But whatever, it's fine. Hopefully, you know, I appreciate Joel Embiid, man, just as much as Jokic. Well, no, not true. I like Jokic as a player more, but you know, it doesn't mean that I don't want Joel Embiid to succeed. Well, actually. God, I'm doing myself no favors, man. I mean, look, man, as I said last episode, look, I have to have a little bit of a hater complex in me. Because following the NBA is fun, and I want it to be fun, It should be fun. And for it to be more fun, you should be a bit of a hater about certain people and players, Not that much of a hater, not like I hope he gets injured level of hate, obviously. That's way too negative. But just like, I hope Joel Embiid fully healthy and the Sixers fully healthy lose in the second round again. Yeah, like, you can be that negative, right? I don't know. It's a weird thing to be like, I want every freaking team in the NBA to succeed, man. Even my team. I want every team to win. I want every team. It's like, look, man, no fan is like that. No true freaking fanatic is like that, okay? At the end of the day, there's one winner and freaking 29 losers, I guess. Oh, man. Anyways, I don't know. maybe being too competitive, maybe having too much of a hater complex is what freaking torpedoed Kate Corain, but that's a totally different conversation. I just wanted to connect the two because it's the freaking it's what I talk about a lot. Okay. Anyways, anything new on that front? Yeah. There was I saw a tweet that posted a picture and apparently she had another interview and I'm like, why are we bringing this up, guys? Look, it was dealt with. The issue was dealt with. It's fine. we can just leave it alone. Like unless there's a new review bombing scandal. Please. I don't know, man. Oh man, it's just yeah. Anyways. Yeah, in terms of that, section, I saw today, there was a picture of a shelf. That's all I'll say about it, man. That's all I'll say. Anything else, man? I don't know. I kind of want this to be a shorter episode. Yeah, I'm recording this a little bit later than I usually do. Yeah, and a thing about this episode is that I'm recording this on the 27th? Yeah, the 27th today, so I want to get this uploaded because 2024 is a leap year. I want to get this uploaded by the 29th. So I'll just have one video on my channel that is uploaded February 29th. And I feel like that'd be a cool thing that it's rare. At once every 4 years you get a leap year. So, I think that'd be a cool thing. I will try my freaking damnedest to get this up by the 29th. Hopefully freaking editing software can, be freaking kind to me, please. So anyways, is that freaking everything, any other things I'm interested that define me as a person, like my favorite Western animated cartoon, anything like that, that early on as a child, I'm like, damn, this is one of my favorite things ever. I love this so much with all my heart. It's one of my favorite freaking things, And at 12 years old, I'm like, hey, they made a sequel to that thing, and I'm watching it live. Oh my god! And I'm following freaking the discussion of it on the internet for the first time, along with another show about ponies. It's like, yeah, look, man, it was a nice time, man. It was a nice time, 2012. And then in 2014, it ended. That the sequel to that amazing cartoon ended, and I'm like, huh, what is the deal with that? And then it sparked a whole freaking bit of discussion online, and then in 2019 I wrote a blog post where I explained look man, I'm not necessarily that big of a fan of how this specific thing was dealt with in the ending to this cartoon. And then in 2022 I made an AMV to the first season book of that freaking cartoon, and it was cool. It was also the year I freaking fell in love with The Naked and Famous as a band. It's they're so great. I love them so much. There's a 4th album by them too, right? Yeah, Recover, and I haven't listened to it. Yeah, I have not listened to it. It came out in 2020. I will listen to it at some point. So. And then, I don't know, well, going back in 2018 or 19, there was an announcement of hey, remember that freaking cartoon that you loved as a kid, that originally came out in 05? yeah, because it got put on Netflix like just recently, at that time, 2018, 19 or something, we have decided there is going to be a live action adaptation of the freaking cartoon. And also, again, this is not 2010. This is not the movie adaptation by M. Night Shyamalan. This is freaking a definitive, a live action freaking series produced by Netflix about this amazing cartoon that captured the hearts of a generation. That is basically the freaking late millennial / Gen Z freaking, you know, most amazing freaking cartoon ever, right? The most amazing kids Nickelodeon cartoon, at least, right? And it's like, yay, wow, I hope it's gonna be great. And then you hear a little bit later, right, like a year or two later, that the original creators left the production of it, right? And you're like, oh, that's a bit weird. And then like what, 2 years, and then like a year or two later, you hear about the casting, and then you see the cast and the images of it, and like, oh, okay, it looks cool actually. The cast looks pretty accurate. They look a lot better than they did in that freaking 2010 film. And then finally in 2024, February of 2024, the freaking thing comes out, and people have thoughts about it. And then me, that freaking same guy who loved freaking that cartoon when it first came out, who it was one of my favorite freaking things ever, and I'm like, oh, I have no interest in watching this. just none. I might have a little interest in watching the live action Avatar, but it's like, oh man. There was a funny tweet after it came out where it's like, okay, all right, it was basically saying like, can we agree that freaking when you say Avatar, like you should, like, Avatar automatically connotes the blue person Avatar now and not the Last Airbender. It's like pretty funny, man. It's like James Cameron stays winning because freaking a lot of people have negative feelings about the freaking live action show. I don't know. I think like the reaction is mostly like mixed. I don't know. I don't think there's people necessarily calling it the worst thing ever. I think it's just a bunch of people saying it's not that good, and like a bunch of people like saying just like, you know, they have problems with it, but I don't think there's many people saying like it's the worst freaking thing. But there's also no one saying it's the best thing. So yeah, there's no, you know, it's weird. There's no one saying it's freaking great or even good. So there might be a few people who say it's decent. I don't know, but I don't know. Again, it's like, what? I don't know. Not again, but I don't know. Have I expressed the sentiment that a lot of people have expressed before, where it's like, I don't know. The need to freaking turn any freaking animated thing that was already great, and it was great partly due to the fact that it was animated, right? And it was a cartoon or an anime or something. It's like, and then wanting to turn it into live action, it's like, come on, man. I don't know. Why? Like, yeah, that was my reaction in the first place to Avatar getting a live action adaptation. It's like, really? Do we need this, you know? Like, I was never that excited about it. Yeah, I was never that excited. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like I should write like a longer like post about this, you know, and I should like, you know, like, yeah, because, you know, back in that freaking monologue I referenced that, yeah, in 2019 I wrote like a little blog post and it was about freaking LGBT representation in a bunch of things, you know. I mentioned like Life is Strange in there. I mentioned freaking this show called freaking Everything Sucks. I mentioned freaking oh god, what else did I mention? Bloom Into You, the anime. I mentioned freaking yeah, Becky Albertalli's books. Yeah, it was basically, the point of it was basically like out of all the times where there have been LGBT characters / representation in these like things, like here are the ones that I like and here are the ones I dislike. But I don't know if it's aged that well, but I think the one thing that I still freaking hold is that, you know, I'm not necessarily a fan of like how, you know, Korra and Asami was dealt with in freaking, you know, book 4 of Legend of Korra. But, you know, I don't know. That's a freaking discussion for another day. Oh, man. I don't know. It's a whole thing. There's a larger discussion to have. Like, yes, yeah. I mean, like, it is like a great, like, step for freaking, you know, animation, I guess, like children's animation at the time, I guess, because it was like before stuff like Steven Universe and the Owl House and stuff, and like right now, like Hell of a Boss, right? It's like you see that and it's like, oh, like that's like, I guess I would assume like representation is not even a question there, right? It's just like, oh, there's gay characters, you know? Yeah, and like also like, you know, young adult books in general too, like the representation in there, right? Where it, you know, it's common, you know, it's not, I don't know, it's not necessarily like too commonplace. I don't know what I'm saying. Just the fact that like you see a lot more freaking LGBT stories in spaces like young adult books like nowadays, you know, a lot more than freaking 20 or even 10 years ago. Yeah. But, you know, that thing in Legend of Korra, yeah, Korra and Asami getting together at the very, very end. Spoilers if you care. You know, I don't know. It was a great step. It was a progressive step, but I think it's also fair to be like, really, like that was the thing, really, like that was the thing, you know. I don't know. I don't think it should. I think it's the thing of like it shouldn't be freaking praised for being this great freaking leap in freaking being progressive when it really is just a small step, right? It's a tiny step, you know. It's like, you know, I mean, you know, the bit of representation in the Loud House clears it by freaking a mile. But, you know, I mean, Legend of Korra was before that, so, you know, it's a tiny, tiny step. The Loud House cleared that by a mile, and then it set the stage for what we have now, so it's great. That's basically my opinion on it, so. Will I ever form opinions on the live-action Avatar show? Probably not, man, please. I have to get to a bunch of other shows first. One of which is this freaking amazing freaking anime called The Dangers in My Heart. My god, this freaking show, man. It's the first like show, yeah, outside of rewatching previous animes I've seen, like that I watched this year. It's from just last year, 2023, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, that oh my god, every freaking episode was just peaking consistently, man. Like every freaking episode of that series, The Dangers in My Heart, from episode 1 to episode 12, man. Like, oh my god. Watch, just yeah, again, I don't know, if anyone watching this is interested in freaking romance anime in general, or just like really nice freaking shows, I guess, just watch it, man, please. Oh man, if you like shows like Takagi-san, yeah, or freaking, yeah, a show I talked about before, like Tsukiga Kirei or something, if you like romance anime like that, like it's basically, it fits in right there, so. Oh man, basically, yeah, I don't know. Should I explain the basic premise of it? Oh man. It's about freaking this weird freaking guy in middle school. Yes, it takes place in middle school, but whatever. That's you have to freaking accept that in anime, that sometimes, a lot of times, these stories take place in middle school and high school, you know? I don't know, but whatever. It's about this guy who, like, one of his quirks about him is that he's into murder, right? And then he sees this freaking girl in his class, and he's like, I think I want to murder this girl, right? But then, after freaking, I don't know, like, interacting with each other for freaking, like, one scene, he's like, wow, what kind of feelings is this girl friggin' inspiring in me? And then, yeah, you can basically guess the rest. It's like, there you go. There's dangers in his heart, you know? I guess also the thing about it is that the girl is a lot taller than the guy, so. but spoiler alert, I guess. Like, the girl is actually 5'8", but, like, 5'8" is actually taller than, like, I guess significantly taller than the average female height in Japan. So yeah, she's 5'8" in middle school as a middle school girl in Japan, so I guess that's like pretty tall. There's also another show similar, yeah, called Lovely Complex, where like I read that the girl in there is 5'7", right? It's like, yeah, interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like, being into basketball has just made me such a height obsessed person, and it is a little bit part of what I'm writing now. So, yeah. Anyways, you watch The Dangers in My Heart, man. If you were to choose between the live action Avatar series or The Dangers in My Heart, the anime, choose the Dangers in My Heart, please. And yeah, if you want to know the ideal way to watch Avatar, just yeah, it's pretty obvious, right? Anyways, do I have any like concluding thoughts on freaking Avatar and stuff? Yeah, I don't know. It's this great thing. It was my favorite freaking cartoon for the longest time. I think it still is my favorite cartoon, like right next to Daria, right? And it's like, yeah, I love it, but I don't know. I feel like the overall like fandom surrounding it has kind of grown exponentially since I was the first fan of it back in like freaking even like 2010, 11, 12. I don't know. Even in like 2012 when like Legend of Korra was first airing, it seemed like being into Avatar wasn't this freaking all-encompassing thing. Like now it seems like if you're into cartoons in any way, you've heard of it, right? And like most people have at least heard of it or watched it, you know, and are familiar with it, right? I don't know, like back in 2012, like it really did not seem that way. Yeah, like it getting put on, the cartoon getting put on Netflix probably was a big freaking step in like, you know, getting more eyes and more viewers to the show. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like my reaction to the fandom, like around it growing, hasn't been like me being into fandom. It's just the reaction has kind of been the opposite. It's kind of been like, yeah, I love the show, but I'm not, you know, necessarily like that into it where I'm willing to participate necessarily in a fandom, you know. Not that that's a thing I would freaking be into anyway. I don't know. I think it's just, you know, even like the ancillary stuff, like the comics that came out like after the show ended, like The Promise and The Search, I haven't really seen. I don't know. I haven't really read, so. But the Nickelodeon did confirm that there's going to be like animated freaking films coming in the coming years. So yeah, that'll be the freaking Avatar stuff I'll watch and that I'll be into, okay? I promise I'll be into that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, it's nice. I guess yeah, I feel like, yeah, just overall, it's nice to just expand freaking your horizons necessarily. Outside of freaking using that in terms of a socialization context. Expanding your horizons in terms of things you like and things you're into, you know. I expanded it after Avatar and The Legend of Korra into freaking being into YA books and like Daria and freaking Life is Strange and, you know, the NBA most recently. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it's still like Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra will always like mean like a lot to me. Like it'll always have such a special place in my heart, but I don't know. I don't know if there's any dangers in there, but yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I think just for now I'm fine not watching the live action series, not getting to it, not like watching it the whole way through. I might just watch an episode of it. Maybe. But whatever, man. Okay, I guess is that basically all I need to say about it? Oh man, it's been 42 minutes already, man, dude. Anything else? Any music I've been freaking listening to more often? Recently? Yeah, nah, I think I've been mostly listening to the same stuff. The Hotelier, they released an album called Home Like No Place Is There. I probably talked about it before. It turned 10 years old this past week or weekend, you know. A lot of the songs are pretty good. Yeah, a lot of the songs are freaking really good on that album. You know, it's hailed as like a landmark emo revival album alongside Modern Baseball and freaking The World Is a Beautiful Place and I Am No Longer Afraid to Die. But yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, like a lot of the songs are, yeah, Your Deep Rest and freaking The Scope of All This Rebuilding, really good. Discomfort Revisited near the end of the album's really good. But yeah, there's a song called Housebroken. I don't know if I've freaking talked about it, yeah. it basically, yeah, it's basically, you know, a metaphor on certain issues. Yeah, I think it's a metaphor on police brutality, believe it or not. Yeah, and like the whole thing about that album is that, you know, it's hailed as a landmark and like special and groundbreaking because of like the way it like the of its lyricism is that like the lyrics explicitly are like about like, you know, like the personal stuff, right? Like personal like heartbreaks and like dealing with stuff like depression and stuff, but it's also like in a political context. You know, the lead singer Christian Holden was like very explicit in that, is that in that like he's a freaking hardcore leftist, right? I'd assume he's read Thierry, he's read freaking Marx and stuff, right? And like I think like even at the time he was trying to freaking relate the interpersonal like relationship dynamics of like a lot of emo bands and emo songs have done, but like relate them in like a larger political context, right? Yeah, like I think if you listen to a song like Your Deep Rest, right, it would kind of be more clear, you know, that like, you know, like, yeah, like the reason why frickin' a person is dealing with depression is because of frickin' alcoholism, and like alcoholism is present in an area where there's more poverty, right? And it's like, you know, the personal like becomes the political, right? Like that's why, you know. Yeah, I think as I was reading a retrospective piece on Stereo Gum, because music journalism is still alive and well at that site, unlike other sites. That's what basically like what it was saying, you know. And you can like, and Housebroken is an example of that, where it's like it's written about a dog, right? And like, yeah, it's and like I don't know, the larger metaphor of it is supposed to be about friggin' police brutality, some sort of thing relating to that. Yeah, like the conflict between the lower classes and the upper classes. There you go. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that, yeah, check that out. So anyways, I think it might be time for a little bit of a Twitter segment. I'll be sure to make it quick, since it's already like over 40 friggin' minutes. So yeah, anything else I need to talk about? Yeah, I think I'm good. Anyways, here is the Twitter segment. If I can find tweets, if I can find them, I don't know. Someone tweeted, "We joke about it, but inflation getting to a point where it ain't funny." And I agree, man. Oh man, obviously. And then someone quote tweeted, "Absolutely nothing has been funny for quite some time now." I don't know. To me, inflation is still in that like stage of just like, I don't know. It's just it shouldn't be funny, like, but it is just absolutely ridiculous, man. There's another tweet similar where like it said like we had $1 McChickens in 24-hour Walmarts. You know, it's like we used to have freaking rent that was like, you know, $650 a month. It's like, oh my god, dude. It's like, I don't know, man. How do you even deal with it, man? Like when you know that frickin' when you were younger, like it was frickin' like so much cheaper to get stuff like just basic frickin' shit, man. Like chips, frickin', you know, I don't know, chips are basic, but I don't know. Just a regular bag of chips is $5.50 or something. It's like $6. It's like, come on, man. I remember I was at a pharmacy. I bought 2 things at a pharmacy that I could have gotten at like a grocery store, you know? And like the total, yeah, it was sparkling water and body wash. if I want to be that personal about it. Like I just need people to know I got 2 things. I got 8 cans of sparkling water. You know, it's not freaking fancy either. It's just bubbly, you know, like the freaking alternative to LaCroix, but still, it's 8 cans of bubbly and freaking an 18-ounce bottle of body wash, right? The generic freaking pharmacy brand body wash, right? And it's like the total of it ended up being $13.99. It was $6 and freaking 29 cents each, or like 49 cents each for each freaking item. It's like, dude, what is going on with this life, man? Like, please, man. I was trying to find a cheaper bottle, and it's like I would think that like a pharmacy would like be a place where you could find body wash and shampoo the cheapest, but it's like, dude, like what is going on here, man? What is going on, man? I don't know. And it's like, and like the sparkling water being freaking $6.29. Literally across the freaking street was the grocery store where I could have gotten it for freaking $4, which is still like a tad bit overpriced, but like I'll take it. But you know, it's like, come on, man. Seriously, like, just seriously. I don't know. And if you're asking like why I freaking bought it at the pharmacy, I don't know. I think it was just cause like I probably couldn't have gotten the body wash at the freaking grocery store, so I'm like, I guess I should kill two birds with one stone, you know. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's insane, man. What inflation has done, man. Everything is just the most expensive thing ever, man. I don't know if like anyone who's watching remembers the dollar menu. I remember, I see pictures of it all the time, and I'm like, dude, like from the McDonald's dollar menu, like, you know, I guess you can, I guess, you know, like, you know, I don't know, I guess you can feel a little bit better that, like, you know, maybe like going to McDonald's isn't, you know, the best thing now, I guess, but like, look, going to McDonald's back then, like when there was the dollar menu, when you could get like a McDouble for $1, you could get 3 cookies for $1, like an ice cream cone for $1, you could get all of that stuff for $1. You could get the entire freaking dollar menu and have such a great meal out of it for just like, and like with taxes it probably would only even be like $10, right? It's like, dude, it's just a shame what freaking $10 gets you, man. I don't know. And the thing is too, like I still freaking order freaking food on DoorDash and stuff, and it's like, yeah, like you think to yourself, you're like, damn, like this shouldn't be this price, this shouldn't be this expensive, but it's like, I guess it has to be delivered, and you know, obviously, yeah, you should, like, you know, I guess it's, you know, not everyone freaking tips their driver, man. Yeah, it sucks, but I'm guilty of it too. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, you'd think like this should not be this expensive, man. Please. I don't know what we can do about it. I really do not know, but whatever, man. at least like I'm like, it's an inconvenience for me, but you know, it probably is just like, yeah, like really bad for a lot of other people, man. But you know, oh man, it just sucks, man. It's not funny. For me, it's a tiny bit funny, but yeah, for most people, like, who are struggling to frickin' like afford food, it's just not that funny. So, yeah, I guess moving on to something more funny, hopefully. Since I have to bring it back to basketball all the damn time. ESPN's Jay Bilas on court storming. If they wanted to stop it, they could stop it tomorrow. You don't have to stop the court storming one time. All you have to do is, once they're on the court, don't let them off. Just say, you're all detained, and give them all citations, or arrest them if you want to, and then the court stormings will stop the next day. Just literally arrest them all. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess the question, should court storming be allowed, man? I don't know. Should I have strong opinions either way about this? It's like, in all honesty, court storming shouldn't be allowed, right? Like, it really shouldn't, man. It's like, I don't know, understand. Yeah, like, the arguments for it are like, what? It's like, oh, it's a freaking, yeah, thinking about it, like, I think I watched a few people talk about it today on podcasts, because that's freaking all I watch anymore instead of the live action Avatar. It's that, yeah, Bomani Jones had an interesting freaking take on it. Is that, like, could you imagine if, like, the majority of people storming the court are African American, right? You know how fast they would shut that down? It's like, you know how fast they would shut that down? Like, if an injury happened where the majority of the people storming the court were African American or black, it's like, yeah, it's like, dude, come on, man. Oh, man, but I don't know. Yeah, the arguments for it are just like, what? It's somewhat of like a rite of passage, right? It's a fun student freaking thing to do. Like, I don't know. Would I do that if I was watching a freaking game? Like, I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. I'd probably would just film it, I guess, but I don't know. It's a thing. I think it all. Yeah, I guess my opinion would be like, it should be banned, but will it? Like, probably not. I don't know. There has to be some sort of serious freaking thing to happen, and like, yeah. It was in response to, like, this time it was like Duke, right? Like a Duke freaking player like got slightly injured from a court storming thing. And like before, like Caitlin Clark, there was a court storming thing by Nebraska where Caitlin Clark was on the court, and then like a Nebraska fan or like just like ran into her, and then she just, yeah, and then the air was knocked out of her, but like she wasn't like seriously injured. She wasn't injured at all necessarily. So I don't know, but that's the thing, like an injury could happen like at some point. Like would people care about wanting to prevent that, you know? Is freaking banning court storming enough to freaking prevent that? But I don't know. But I don't know, arresting them all though, like, yeah, probably not, you know, that good of an idea though. I know his point is just like, you know, you want to stop it, that's how you stop it permanently, but it's like, I don't think that's gonna stop it permanently. There will always be freaking people that crazy willing to do it, even under the threat of being arrested. So, but I guess it would curb it enough, I guess. But I don't know. In other freaking basketball news, the Clippers, the Los Angeles Clippers, have a new logo, and you know, I guess a lot of people probably are learning today that a Clipper is actually in reference to a ship, like like a freaking ship. A Clipper is right. That's what a Clipper is. I remember back when I was first, early on in my basketball enjoying freaking days, I remember when the Clippers blew the freaking 3-1 lead to the Nuggets. They locked the subreddit. They made the subreddit private, and then like when it got opened again, they were like, "This is a subreddit about Clipper ships." This is a ship subreddit now. Oh man, yeah, I love when freaking like subreddits do that, man. It's just the small joys of being on Reddit. But yeah, they rebranded their logo like from just being like a basketball, just like a white black, you know, basketball, to freaking like an actual ship. And I don't know, man. To me, like it's I don't know. Part of me is like, it looks kind of cool, but part of me is like, I don't know. I just wish they would, you know, incorporate an actual basketball in the logo, like the Denver Nuggets do, like with like a ball and like a pickaxe. I don't know. I mean, I guess like a rebrand probably is a good idea because the Clippers are gonna be moving into a new arena next season, the Intuit Dome with all the freaking toilets, according to according to Steve Ballmer. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just, I guess I'll just like put it up. Yeah, I guess it looks kind of cool, you know? Yeah, I think like, is it the account NBA Paint was like, had the idea of like having a ship carrying a basketball, but I don't know. it looks fine, man. But yeah, the jerseys objectively look cool, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. To me, like, the ship, you know, also the ship is a reference to when they were the San Diego Clippers. And funny enough about that, the new owner of the Clippers, who moved the Clippers from San Diego to LA originally, Donald Sterling. So yeah, yeah, you have him to thank for that. The fact that frickin' San Diego doesn't have an NBA team, but whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. Would I be the biggest Clipper fan in the world? Probably not. Nah, I'd still be a Nuggets fan. I mean, just saying. And I would still root for the Celtics and the Suns, but you know, but I would still root against the Lakers though. So yeah, I guess tying in two things at one point and one. The Lakers and the Warriors are fighting. They're jockeying for the position, the playoff position, more like play-in position of being the 9th versus the 10th seed. And I don't know, things could change, but like there's only like what? Like I think like most teams have played like 57 or 58 games, so there's like 26 to 24 games left in the season for most teams. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, the Lakers probably cannot move to the number 7 seed, right? Like, maybe if they make a huge push, they can go to 8th. But, like, yeah, I guess it's like they need to make a huge push and teams above them need to drop. So it's like, I don't know. I just don't necessarily see it. The Lakers lost a game to the Suns, and that would have been, like, a bit crucial to win that game. Because like the Suns are like hovering, like I don't know, like a week ago they were 7th, and then with that win they got pushed up to 5th, right? I don't know. To me, the Warriors have the better chance at making like any sort of run into playoffs, you know. But yeah, it's all about the matchup, right? If either the Lakers or the Warriors get the Nuggets in the first round, they're done. So objectively, they're done. Like spoiler for my freaking eventual NBA playoff prediction video. Like, I'm not gonna waver on that at all, unless Jokic gets freaking injured and Jamal Murray gets injured and Michael Porter Jr. gets injured. But like, I don't know. Oh man, please. The Lakers and the Warriors are jockeying for ninth and 10th in the West, and it's like, yeah. Oh man. Who will end up with the 9th seed? Who will end up with the 10th seed? Yeah, it's gonna be fun seeing a Lakers Warriors playing game though. So, but yeah, I guess the thing is like that teams like the Suns, Kings, Pelicans, like their job, like their number one priority is avoiding the 7th or 8th seed. So yeah. I'm looking through my bookmarks for some tweets, I guess. I don't know. I found two in here that would be nice to read back to back. Someone tweeted back on January 13th, and a lot of people freaking love taking freaking tweets that are like weeks, months, even years old, and then quote tweeting them, you know. For some reason, just like being like, oh, like I'm ignoring the fact that it's years old and just responding to it like it just came out. I don't know. I don't understand that, but you know. I understand it with like Travis Kelce's decade-old tweets and like Kevin Durant's old tweets, but like, I don't know. It's weird sometimes. But someone tweeted, female friendships are so tender, warm, and fulfilling that no guy friend can ever replace that feeling. You don't even need a group of female friends to get through life. Only one girl who genuinely gets you, takes care of you, and loves you wholeheartedly is enough for a lifetime. And I recently bookmarked this freaking tweet from an account, a Twitter account that freaking tweets a bunch about the anime and manga Nana, which, you know, is also like the thing that like I fell in love with in terms of like the like animated thing that I love and like is such a big part of my freaking heart and like a big part of me as a person. You know, along with it. There's a similarity between these two things, yeah, Nana and Daria, you know, in different ways, but yeah. I don't know, make of that what you will, may infer things about me, but you know. Someone tweeted like, yeah, it's, I guess, again, it's a spoiler, but like, I think it's like one of like the most freaking impactful freaking quotes in the freaking anime. I think I know the exact episode this is from, but yeah. Anyways, I guess without context. You know, Hachi, I was too small of a person to be able to accept everything about you. It's just that I preferred the pain of breaking into pieces to the loneliness I felt from losing everything. I was just too fragile. It's not your fault. And that's what, yeah, Nana Osaki said. So the black-haired Nana, what she said to Hachi. And it's like, oh man, dude, just that episode, man, that's from, oh my god, dude. Just, yeah, I remember just seeing that, like, when I first was watching it in, like, what, 2016, right? And, like, the ED that leads into that, it's this song called Black Tears, right? Yeah, by, like, yeah, the band in the freaking show. Yeah, Blast, right? And it's like, oh man, it's just goddamn. Just seriously, like, yeah. I think I would assume that's one of the moments where I'm like, yeah, no, this is my favorite anime of all time, right? If I didn't make that clear before. I don't know. Yeah, I guess sometimes you just, yeah, those female friendships, man. I don't know. I guess it's a thing that, like, I guess, like, I never had, like, sisters or, like, freaking, I don't know, girl cousins around me when I was young. I guess I only like knew brothers and cousins that were boys, but I don't know. Maybe that's why, you know. Freaking the shows like that have like made a big impact on me. I don't know. maybe it's due to some sort of freaking other thing, I don't know, in my adolescence, but I don't know, just, yeah, it's just a thing, man. So yeah, I do love just the dynamic in general of just like two female friendships, two women who are like strong friends, man. I'm sorry for freaking I'm sorry for starting to say female like that. bad. I'm sorry. Two women who are very strong friends, you know, like, I don't know. I guess I just have a really soft spot for that dynamic, you know, in terms of like two of one of my favorite freaking shows. So yeah, I guess, is that basically it? You know, is that basically, yeah, and those are basically all the tweets, man. That just happened to show up, man. I kind of want this to be shorter. I don't know. Is it going to be like, you know, I mean, I guess I can cut it frickin' at some point. I also like have other stuff bookmarked. I have like prompt tweets bookmarked, but I don't know. I'm not that desperate, okay? anyways, let me just scroll through just the bonus round. Okay. Petition for Taylor to add would've, could've, should've to the set list permanently because I think she underestimates how much we all need to collectively shout, "Give me back my girlhood, it was mine first," in a stadium. Yes. There you go. Any new Taylor freaking updates that happened? I don't know. Oh man, Byron was bad, Luke was bad, Darvin is bad. These are all Lakers head coaches. 3 bad Lakers coaches in 10 years. There was a Knicks Pistons game, and there was just an egregious freaking no call where freaking Dante DiVincenzo dove into freaking Asar Thompson's legs. Like, he basically tackled Asar Thompson, Dante DiVincenzo did, and it was literally no foul, and it was like a 2-point game. It led to a game-winning layup. So yeah, then that's how the Knicks won over the Pistons, and Monty Williams was upset about it. Oh man, I need more Los Campesinos moots. Oh yeah, I've been seeing like more tweets from like Los Campesinos fans on Twitter. Yeah, and yeah, Los Campesinos announced a new album, so yeah, that's coming in 2024. It's really cool. I hopefully I'll listen to it. Oh man, anything else? Any freaking thing else, please? I can't just read everything, okay? There's this really funny image. Obsessed with the way my girlfriend holds burgers like she just picked up a wounded pigeon. Should I see like that? Should I post this freaking image? It just looks so weird, man. 97-year-old girlfriend still holds the burgers the old-fashioned way. Oh man. Oh yeah, 12 years ago today, Pete Weber gave us the greatest bowling moment of all time. I need to, yeah, it's on my phone. Hopefully you can hear it, man. Hopefully. Come on. It's loading. Goddamn. My phone is slow, man.
Strike to claim it. A strike to claim it. And he got it!
Another 5! Are you kidding me? That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
Oh man, it's just that freaking legendary line. I have no idea. It's just, who do you think you are? I am. Oh man. Oh my god. He, like, my god, dude. Like, apparently this Pete Weber guy is like an amazing bowler. Yeah, he's one of the goats of freaking bowling. He had a really freaking good, he had like a really good quote. Yeah, there's another video of him where he's like talking about his career, right, as like this amazing bowler for some reason, like, apparently, and it's like, oh god, it's good. It's like, yeah, I think like he's been a polarizing figure in bowling or in freaking sports, and like he's just saying like, you know, to the people who loved me, to the people who hate me, you watched. Like, I don't know, man. I just loved how he just said that in that interview. He's like, look, man, you know, yeah, the people who loved me, thank you, you know, to the people who hated me, to people who freaking criticized me, it's like, you watched. Like that. I mean, like, in all honesty, like, isn't that kind of LeBron's freaking Hall of Fame speech right there? It's like, for the people who rooted for me to fail, right? In 2011, when you freaking like cheered up and down that I lost in the finals, like, you know, in 2017 and 18, when you freaking were Warriors fans, like being like Steph Curry and KD own LeBron, right? When you saw me freaking make the trade for Russell Westbrook because he was the main factor in the Lakers getting Russell Westbrook in 2020. One, if you didn't know. You know, and like we missed the playoffs that year. It's like, look, you watched. I love that, man. I really do love that, man. Like, just like, hey, you can say all the freaking shit you want, man. look, at the end of the day, you were the one watching it, man. I don't know what to say. Yeah. I love that, man. I love that so much. I guess that's a nice way to end the episode. I don't know what this is gonna be called. Maybe I'll make it something about a leap year, but yeah. There's another fun thing. I guess I have to talk about it in case I want to make the episode title about it. Someone measured their response about something in the video essayist community, so I'm mentioning it now so it won't come out of nowhere, the title. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, I guess. It's a leap year. Hopefully I get this uploaded by February 29th. Yeah, just an hour and 20 minutes in total. Yeah, that'll be cut down in editing, so yeah, hopefully I get this out soon enough. So yeah, next time I will talk about basketball more, I guess, and maybe talk about what I'm reading. Oh yeah, I read frickin' the book From Twinkle with Love, which is the next book Sandhya Menon wrote after When Dimple Met Rishi. It was really good. It was about this Desi American girl who wants to be a filmmaker, and she makes this film, which is a Dracula remake, or that's like gender swapped, and like, yeah, basically it's a very lower YA book. I found it a bit similar to like Saints and Misfits, yeah, by S.K. Ali. So like, yeah, it's really good. Yeah, I'm going to read another book soon. I have to find another book to read. Maybe I'll freaking I don't know, talk about it a bit more in the next episode. Yeah, I'll probably forget about it. Yeah, I mean, there isn't, yeah, I mean, you know, bottom line, it was good. I only read good books, guys. I don't know about freaking anyone else, man. I guess that's why I stay away from the drama side of book publishing Twitter, because I only read books I like. Wow. Whether you loved my writing, whether you hated my writing, you read it. Or at least you tried to. That should be it. That should be it. Hey. If I eventually get published one day and like there's people who put negative Goodreads reviews and they're like, I read this whole book, and it's like, and I regret every second of it, and I'm like, you read it? Oh man. Anyways. God, thank you so much for watching. You did watch, right? People did watch? Yeah, I'm fine. Even if people didn't watch, it's fine. So, yeah, I don't make these necessarily for people to watch them. I don't know. Maybe I will in the future, but yeah, maybe past episode 100. Anyways, I've been going on way too long. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next episode.